Hello, Jeffco. This is Shauna Fritzer with Jeffco PTA. I am here today with my Reflections Chair, Cindy Von Singer. The Reflections program is probably my favorite program in all of PTA. It was actually started right here in Colorado, Jefferson County, and it is completely amazing. Every single PTA should be participating in this program because it is the most amazing experience for our kids. Now, Cindy is just going into her 10th year of managing this Reflections program for all of Jefferson County. It is completely amazing, and she's going to tell you a little bit more about it and why you should be participating. Cindy, take it away.
All right. There we go. So the PTA Reflections program, as Shauna said, is now like a 50-year-old program. And it is really a fun thing for our students to do because it encompasses all kinds of different art. It encompasses some critical thinking, and then of course it encompasses some rewards. You know, they get certificates and ribbons, and they're recognized for their artistic talent. So let's start out. So what is Reflections? So Reflections is a national arts recognition and achievement programs. As we said, started in 1969 right here in Jefferson County. And it affords a lot of different opportunities for our students to unleash their creative talents, to express themselves, to experience the joy of making art, and tap into critical thinking to create art. We're learning more and more about how important art is to education and how it is, you know, the creativity can, you know, funnel itself into all other kind of aspects of education. And then, of course, to receive the positive recognition. I mean, we have a lot of students out here who might not be great students, but they're wonderful artists. And so they might not get the recognition in their school that, you know, some of the other students do, but, you know, if this is one way that they can be recognized. So the basic rules of the program: the artwork has to be the original work of the student. It cannot be something that everybody created in an art class. And it has to be based on the theme. And that's one of the most critical parts of Reflections, is that every year there's a different theme. This year's theme is I Matter Because. So the student has to think about that program, about that theme, and create the work to that theme. So how do they answer that question, I matter because? Then the other basic rules are just we need an entry form, and then there are rules for each category, and these are kind of long, so you'd have to check. I have the rules listed on the website, so you check for each category, including size and length limits, etc.
And I have to say, you make it very, very easy for everyone to participate. So don't be intimidated. Cindy is here to help.
All right, Shauna, you were breaking up on that. Is that going to show up on the recording? Or
no, it should actually still be okay. So, but I was just saying, you make it very easy. Go ahead.
All right. Okay, now, so students can work in 6 categories, arts categories, and you'll hear this word art category a lot. So this is something to keep in mind. So there are different categories: visual arts, drawing, painting, sculpture, montage, whatever you want it to be. Photography, so you can do film photography, you can do digital photography. Music composition, this is actual original music. So, and it can be on an instrument, it can be sung. We had somebody win this year. It was just a cappella vocal piece, and you know, in 3rd graders, and it was wonderful. Film production, so, and that can be live action, it can be a documentary, it can be animation. The important thing there is it all has to be the work of the student, so they have to be manning the camera, as well as writing, editing, etc. Dance choreography. So again, this is original works of dance, something that you make up on your own, not something that you learned in dance class, but something that you do on your own. Then, of course, literature. And that can be short stories, essays, poems, up to, I think, 2,000 words. And I guess that's self-explanatory. And I want to say that each school can decide how many categories they run. So if you are just starting out and you just want to run visual arts and photography this year, that's fine. Okay. You know, but if you want to offer all 6, that's fine too. Okay, now the other word you're going to hear a lot is grade divisions. And so these are the different grades that students are judged in. So there's primary, which is preschool through 2nd, intermediate, 3rd through 5th, middle school, 6th through 8th, high school, 9th through 12th. And then the special artists are for kids in our special education. And there's, again, a whole set of rules about that. It's on the website. The decision on whether or not to enter as a special artist should be the parents and the students. We've had some special education kids who would rather enter as a 3rd grader than enter under special artists, and that's okay. Okay. One specific rule for Jeffco. National PTA does not mention any limit of entries per student, but defers to the state and district. We, at one point, have gotten some complaints about students winning multiple awards. We only give away 5 awards of excellence, and if 3 of them go to one student, you know, we've gotten some complaints about that. So what we want to limit it to is 1 entry per category. So if you want to enter a painting, a photograph, a poem, and a film, that's fine, but don't enter 6 photographs. Yeah. Yeah. And the nice thing about that is, you know, it encourages critical thinking. I mean, I know when I ran it at high school, I'd had a student who entered like 12 photographs. And I thought, well, you know, you're leaving it up to the judge to pick your best one. Why not, you know, look at it yourself and pick that out. So, running your program at your school.
Love your pictures.
Oh, yes. Okay. So this is what the local chairperson needs to do. And I know it's going to sound like a lot. It is kind of a lot, but we're here to help you through it. I step you through it the whole time. You get newsletters saying, okay, now it's time to do this. Now it's time to do this. But, you know, try and get a few people together, and many hands make light work. So first of all, you need to market the program. So get, you know, some information out there. You need to arrange for judging. We're going to talk about more details on that later. Display your entries in the school. You know, make sure you arrange to be able to use some bulletin boards or display case. You turn in your winning entries to the district. And then at the district level, we need to have 1 volunteer sign up for 1 volunteer slot, because we do a lot of things and we need a lot of people to help us. So whether it's hanging the show or hosting the open house or helping with the refreshments at the award ceremony, there's a lot of different things you can do. Then there's some things you can even do at home. And that will—
It's a lot of fun, though. I had a lot of fun volunteering with you over the years, and my daughter helped too. So high school kids can help you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll take kids to help. And then high school students, if they need volunteer hours, I've signed, you know, volunteer hours for high school students in National Honor Society or whatever they need. So that's definitely welcome. Then you need to be able to pick up your entries after everything is displayed. And let's see, communicate the results with your school. I said we communicate with you, and then we expect you to communicate with your students. Then return the entries to your students.
It's really not that bad. So, you know, okay. You really do make it easy. So, and tell everybody what to do. And there's lots of communication. So honestly, nobody should be intimidated by this. And the kids love it.
They do. So, and I said, it's always a little intimidating. It sounds intimidating to start out, but you know, you just have to do it step by step and you'll be fine. So setting up your program, first of all, the program needs to be run through a PTA in good standing. we have a registration site on the Jeffco PTA webpage. There's also National PTA has a registration. If you sign up through that, I will have absolutely no idea that you did so. So that's why we have asked for a separate Jeffco registration, so that we know that which schools are participating. We know to make sure we reach out to you and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that you sign up for our newsletter. We send that out, as I said, regularly, and it's full of information. Like our Facebook page, I'll throw some things up there now and then, little reminders. So hopefully that can pop up in your feed. Then you need to set your deadlines appropriately, leaving time for judging, display, and celebrations. I've got more details of that on the website, so that we don't need to go through that right now. But the important date to remember is the Jeffco turn-in date. So you need to have your show all done and judged so that you can turn your entries, your winning entries, into me. And it's generally the first Saturday of November, which would be November 7th this year. We don't have strong dates yet because we don't know where we're going to be. I mean, hopefully we will be at Red Rocks Community College in Lakewood, but they can't promise that until we know what's going on with COVID-19. So, but I said by the time that you get started, hopefully we will have that wrapped up.
Yeah.
Be sure to reserve space at your school for display and awards. That's something you probably need to do right away. I know that I said running at the school level, my first couple of years, I neglected to reserve ahead of time, and it's like, oh, we don't have any room. But but we've worked it out. Anyway, and then of course recruit some volunteers. Split this up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, promote your program. So posters and other materials. National does provide some things that you can print on your own and then fill in. We also create our very own poster.
You do. Not we, you did this.
I do, yes. I designed a poster. I've been designing a poster for the past few years. We will have that available, the $3 posters. Usually we sell them through the Colorado PTA office or at any conventions we have. I can also mail them to you, and so details on buying those will eventually be on the website. We can accept payments now through ShutterUp, right?
Yep. Any payment links on our website is totally fine.
Yep. And so, yeah, we can work all that out. Okay, so then you need to have rules and entry forms available at your school. Again, all of those things are on the website. We also have a Jeffco student page. And this is where I have all the forms just up there without all the other extra stuff that's for the local chair people. And that has been really nice for especially maybe middle and high school students who are very, tech savvy. They're on the web. They know that they can just pop on there and download. So if you make that link available on your website or in whatever materials you mentioned, then they can go right there and print out their own rules and entry forms. So yeah, just make sure you get some information home with the students in some way. And enlist teacher help to promote the program. That to me has been the make or break for the success of a program, honestly. If the art teachers are involved, students participate. So talk to them at the beginning of the year and say, hey, I'm going to run this program. Can I put up some information in your room? Can you be available to, maybe help the students with materials or whatever they need? And I found most of them are pretty willing to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the big one, judging your entries. So I know judges need to be recruited from outside the school. And that means you really got to network, and you got to know, who knows who, and pass it on. Use professionals in the different arts. I've used retired teachers. You can even use current teachers from other schools, but they shouldn't be teachers from your school because they all know the students and we don't want any bias. I have used, literature teachers from other schools that my daughter had really good relationships with. And so, that works. Local college programs are also ways to get people. And always, reach out to your entire PTA and say, who knows who, and try and find some people. There are, again, more suggestions listed in my How to Run Your Reflections program, which is on the website.
Yes.
Displaying your entries, make sure you, as I said, it's kind of important to do this if you really want to promote the program. So use whatever boards or display cases, libraries, whatever the school lets you use.
Beautiful.
Then celebrating your winners. You get ribbons and print certificates. The National does have some certificates. You can print blank certificates. You can print out and fill in, or you can use whatever you want to use. Ribbons, again, National has some. They're, they can take a little while to get there, so make sure you order ahead of time. You can also just order ribbons off of, some of these ribbon websites if you want something that's, personalized to your school.
Yeah, good idea.
Then have an awards evening. Yeah, present certificates.
This is my favorite. So, because those kids, especially, at the district level, so which is us through Jeffco PTA, those kids are so excited, and oh my goodness, you have to bring tissues to it as well.
Yeah.
But you have to participate. It's just amazing.
Yeah, they'll show up in their best dress. It's great.
Yes.
Okay, so moving on to the next level and things that we require, you need to enter all your data. There's an Excel sheet on the website, and you need to use this Excel sheet and fill it out correctly, so that, because then we merge all of these things so that we use them for printing our certificates, printing our art labels, everything. So make sure that you fill that out correctly. If students' names are wrong on there, they're going to be wrong on the tags, and I get yelled at. So make sure you spell them right. Then, as I said, volunteer for at least one time slot, and then prepare your entries for turn-in. We're going to talk a little bit more about that. But you need to bring your entries to turn-in day. It's not just something you drop off. We need to check them in as you bring them. So, you need to prepare for, 20, 30 minutes of turning in that day. And then please remember to pick up your entries on takedown day. This is actually one of the things that, a lot of times we have some leftover entries, and we can't go out to every school. The Jeffco is just too big.
Yes.
So
and
please.
as long as, so every school has an articulation area vice president or AAVP. You want to make sure, if you're the reflections person, that you've told the other officers, the president, to make sure that you're in good standing, so that we can make sure that all the kids get to participate in this program.
Right. That's a good thing to do. So here's just a quick thing on the winner's log, that there are two tabs, or sheets rather. The first sheet is all your school information. We need all the participation. So make sure you count all your entries before you turn them in and give them back. We've had that problem. It's like, I don't know how many I had because I turned them all back. And then on the second sheet is where you fill out all the information for each of your students that are moving on to the Jeffco site. And just want to point out, in column C and D, there are drop downs, so that the division and the category, that way they're spelled and capitalized the same on everything. We don't go back and change things. So
Yeah.
school name, it's real simple. You've got it set up so that you type it in once and it fills it in for all the other lines. And then, of course, it's all the other information from the student's entry form.
You've made it very easy, very easy.
I'm trying. So preparing your entries, we've got, again, there's a page on the website about preparing your entries. For the ones that hang, the visual arts and photography, you need to make sure they're on a mat, hard backing of some sort, and we use page protectors. You slide the entry form into the page protector, you tape the page protector to the back, and then we use the little holes on top of the page protector to hang our entries. So that is why we do it that way. And as far as 3D works of art, you cannot bring the actual 3D work with you. It needs to be the 3 photographs, and that again is spelled out. Here are the tentative dates so that you have an idea of what we do at the Jeffco level. The turn-in is early November, then the judging's the week after that. We hang it, the show, on early December. We do hopefully hang all of the students' work. Everybody who moved on to Jeffco will be part of a big show, if we're allowed big shows. And that is up for 1 week. And then there's a big open house and awards day. And then, as I said, the show's up for a week, and then we take it down and you get to pick it up.
We'll keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah, I'm hoping it will go this way.
We'll do something, no matter what. We'll make sure that something happens.
Yeah. Okay. So the program overview, what happens now? Okay, so first you run your program. So all entries collected, judged, displayed. Then you choose, or your judges choose, up to 3 awards of excellence per arts category, per grade division. So that means you can have 3 visual arts from grades preschool through 2nd. You can have 3 visual arts from 3rd through 5th, if you're in elementary school, for instance. And then you can also do the same for photography and music, etc. So Jeffco PTA now accepts and judges all the entries. And as I said, if possible, we are going to have the big show where they're all up, and it's a wonderful time when it does happen. And what our judges get to choose is 5 awards of excellence and 1 award of merit per category, per division. And these winners are invited to the awards reception. They receive a ribbon and a certificate.
And Cindy, just a quick question. The majority of our schools in Jeffco do have a PTA, but I know there are some schools that do not, and we often have students in the county who want to participate in this program who don't have a PTA. What do they do for that?
They can actually contact me directly, and they can enter at a county level. So they can join the Jeffco PTA and enter through the county. If I get more than 3 things per category, per division, then we will have to have those judged to decide who really moves on to the county level. Otherwise, they'll just go direct to the county.
Thank you.
All right. Reflections. Okay. So the awards of excellence from Jeffco are advanced onto the state PTA, the Colorado PTA, and they get entries from Jeffco, El Paso, Boulder, Denver, some regional units. That's growing all the time, I've noticed. We're getting more and more of those. Any entries that are not advancing to state are picked up and returned to the students. The state awards 1 gold medal and 2 silver medals for each category and each grade division. The award ceremony is usually sometime in March. I know that seems like a big jump, but with Christmas breaks, that's the way it works. Anything that were not, again, didn't win medals, those are returned to us and we return them to you. Colorado PTA sends the gold medals only onto national PTA. So that's only 1 entry per art category, per division gets to go on to national. So it's a pretty big deal when you get one of those.
Mm-hmm. And we have had Jeffco winners. So pretty regularly we have Jeffco winners that advance to national.
Oh yeah, we've had a number. I think we had about a dozen this year that did go on to national. And then national selects 3 awards of excellent winners and 5 awards of merit in each category and division, and also 1 outstanding interpretation award now in each category. So that is across grade levels. So last year we actually had a Jeffco kid win the outstanding interpretation award in visual arts. And the fun thing about it national is there's some money involved.
Exciting.
Yeah, for the Outstanding Interpretation Award, it's a $500 award. I guess they call it a scholarship, but you can use it for whatever. And all the awards of excellence are given $200 awards. So we did have one award of excellent winners from last year. So it's kind of fun to see.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Go Jeffco.
Yeah. So honestly, we used to get a lot more, but the program is growing so much and more states are participating. So it's a little harder. So it's actually that much more of an accomplishment when you get a national award now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, resources. I got a Word document called How to Run Your Program at Jeffco, and it's on the website. So it's really detailed and lays out, I said, your timing and all that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Be sure you're signed up for our newsletter and our Facebook page. National PTA site has some leadership guides and materials. They're not as detailed because, they leave some of it up to the state, but they give a little bit more of an overview and, about what the program is.
And again, you make it so very easy. Every piece of information, every question you would want to know is right there on your pages.
I usually get some new questions every year. But I do have an FAQ page too, and if I get those questions, I add it on there.
Awesome.
Okay, and so here are the resources. It's jcpta.org, and then it's under programs, and then under reflections. Then again, under local chairs is where you find the information you'll need. The chair people this year is me, along with Tanya Altman-Bettridge, and new this year will be Lolita Tutor. And here's our email address, jeffcoreflections@gmail.com. Again, Facebook page. Then on National PTA, again, it's pta.org and Programs Reflections. And the Colorado also has some information if you want for Programs Reflections. And that is it.
Well, that is more than, that's a lot of information.
It is a lot of information. That's why it's up there on the website. You can keep reviewing it as much as you want.
But it is so easy. And I joke to say, even when I was a president of my local unit, every time I reached out to you, there was just immediate communication, and you were always so very helpful, so very responsive. If anybody needs help from you, from Jeffco PTA, you can send an email, and we are all very responsive. We want you to do this program. We want your kids to do this program so that they can benefit. And, Cindy, one of the things that I don't think we talk enough about, and I do want to talk about it just briefly here too, is we have scholarships at Jeffco PTA that kids can apply for. And we specifically have a reflection scholarship. And I would love if you would talk about that.
Oh, yes. So for seniors in high school, if you just participate in reflections, and it can be just at your school level, you don't have to win reflections in anywhere, as long as you participate and you're a member of your PTA and you are interested in going into something involving the arts, whether it's writing, whether it's, visual arts, whether it's filmmaking, you can apply for our scholarship. It should be a $500 scholarship. Unfortunately, nobody applied this year. So,
right.
If you apply, you got a pretty good chance at it. So,
and then PTAs and individuals in the community can donate to that scholarship. And the number of scholarships that we give is contingent upon the donations that we give.
Right.
We get in. So anybody who is very passionate about that arts program, if you want to make a donation to Jeffco PTA, just make sure that you let us know so that we can allocate that to the scholarship programs and the reflection scholarship programs. But and also your posters. So if you're advertising those posters, all of the money from that goes to the reflection scholarship. So
right, we raise about $300 that way.
And
So,
it's great marketing within your school so that you can hang those posters up and really work with your teachers. You know, get one for the music teacher's room, and get one for the PE teacher's room, and get one for the art teacher's room, and get one for the office, so that everybody knows about this program. They're only $3, but it goes straight to your reflection scholarship.
mhm.
And, lastly, I just want to say, Cindy, you've been doing this. This is your 10th year, and I am eternally grateful that you stuck with me. So to do this and continue this during my term. Your daughter, of course, did this. I was lucky enough to see her artwork over the years when she was still in school. She's a phenomenal artist still. So are you. Everything graphic or artistic from Jeffco PTA pretty much comes from you, because you have that talent. And I most certainly don't. But this is such an amazing program. You are such an amazing person. Everyone who hasn't done reflections, I will tell you, Cindy is the kindest person you could ask to work with. And you will very much enjoy the reflections program if you want to volunteer, which I highly recommend, because this is honestly the kind of the highlight of everything PTA. It is the biggest celebration, and just seeing the faces of our kids is beyond, I'm so beyond grateful to be able to see that.
Yeah,
It's wonderful. So,
true.
and I didn't,
That is the payoff.
yes, yes. Well, anyway, thank you for explaining this. We're going to go ahead and do, at some point, another live. We will do a live Zoom meeting so that Cindy can answer more of your questions about the Reflections program, and you will be able to ask your own questions in the chat and live as well. So look for that coming soon. But until then, start thinking about, what is the theme?
I matter because.
All right. And I think you'll see a little bit of you matter to Jeffco PTA all year long, because this is a pretty amazing theme. Thank
Right.
you.
Right. Bye.